Call to order the City Council meeting on this November 13th, 2024. It is exactly 5:53 p.m. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Powell.
Present.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilman Stevens.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. It is in this moment, God, we pray for your endless blessings to continue to reign upon this great city that we call the City of Miami Gardens. Bless its leadership, stakeholders, residents, and most importantly, anyone that called this place home. God, continue to pour out your many blessings. All these things we ask in your Son's name, I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're on approval of minutes. Are there?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, before the Council for approval is the October 23rd, 2024 regular City Council meeting draft minutes.
I need a motion on the minutes.
Motion. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor of the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the minutes approved. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be added, deleted, or withdrawn?
Mr. Mayor, Council?
Yes.
All right, I have 4 add-on items to be added to the agenda. Since we're taking the consent agenda as a body, these items will be added as resolutions under Section 13. The first add-on item, it'll be 13.3. This is creating the Miami Gardens Port Laureate program, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Wilson. Without objection, we ask that it be added to the agenda as item 13.3. Add-on item number 2. This is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson. This is allocating funds from the Seat 4 Community Benefit account. Without objection, we add that this be added to the agenda as item 13.4. Add-on item number 3. This is sponsored by Councilwoman Julian. This is an amendment to a previous resolution in support of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Without objection, we ask that this be added to the agenda as item 13.5. And the last add-on item I have before the council, this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian. This is in support of Love of Urban Design Week. Without objection, we ask that it be added to the agenda as item 13.6.
Ms. Mayor? I'm sorry, I missed it. Are these items going on consent or as we're putting them?
No, going on resolutions. Let's see.
But normally we put them.
Regular resolutions.
We don't put them on consent. Okay.
I need a motion on the agenda.
Motion.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the agenda pass. We're on special presentations.
Yeah, item 6.1, presentation on Miami Gardens First Time Home Buyers Initiative by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Councilwoman?
Mic check, mic check. Good evening, Mayor, Council, colleagues. Tonight, I would like to recognize a couple who has gone through an extraordinary home buying process. Before us this evening, we have Mr. and Mrs. Rivera, and I'm going to ask them to come up, and their story is one that is very special. Please join me up here. So if you all remember, back in June for Homeownership Month, I designated some funds to the National Association of Real Estate Brokers so that they can help us identify first-time home buyers so that we can provide them with closing cost assistance to help them realize their dream. Well, before us this evening, and I'm happy to say that Mr. and Mrs. Rivera purchased their very first home at the age of 67 years old.
I remember, guys, we do this when we excited.
And so, this is the lesson in this here is that you are never too old to accomplish your dreams. You're never too old to go back to school. You're never too old to start school. You're never too old to purchase your very first home. And I know that this was an extraordinary journey for the both of you, one that was emotional, one that was filled with joy. And I'm happy to stand with you in seeing that you realize your dream this evening. But I also want to call up Sonia Hickman, who was the realtor who worked diligently with this couple here in helping them find this home. The realtist, yes, the realtist. Just so you all know, do you all know the history behind realtist and realtor? So realtors are the group of people who coined themselves realtors back in the day when black realtors were not allowed to be a part of the National Association of Realtors. We came up with our own name and we called it realtors. So Sonia just corrected me here. But I'm gonna allow Sonia to say a few words on behalf of the couple tonight.
And May's about to make me cry already. Guys, I'm so excited to be standing here with them. When I got the phone call that they were looking to move from the apartment that they were living in, and once I saw their apartment, the ceiling was falling in over the bed. A bullet had already been through the window and gone through the bedroom into a wall, and their rent was increasing to $1,500 a month. I said, do you think you could possibly own a place? Everybody looked confused, but we went to work. We had one lender that couldn't help us. We went along to another lender, and we all got together and got a plan together, and we were able to place them in their first home. We renovated the home. Their mortgage is less than their rent.
Nice.
I'm excited to be a part of this journey with them. To be a first-time homeowner is a blessing. And I'm this is what NARAB stands for. We stand for democracy and housing. And as an organization, we love to fight for Black and brown people, and this is what we do. I stand in the paint and I go hard for all of my clients. And if you know me, you know that I go hard for my clients. And it took a little bit of extra time to get this transaction done because it was an estate, but thank God I had a realtor on the other side that was very cooperative, and she wanted it just as bad as I wanted it for them. She said they deserve this. When I say everything fell into place, they got so many things handed to them, and it was nothing but God. And thank you, Mayor, all of the council people, city managers, everybody. Thank you, City of Miami Gardens, for making this dream come true for my clients.
Thank you, Sonia. And so I'd like to call my colleagues down here to join us for a photo. We all share in this moment with you, and we want you to know that, a lot of these stories you don't hear about, and a lot of these stories you don't see in person, right? But your city council is working. We're working for you. We are in the paint. We are working hard for you. And this right here is a true testament to some of the great work that we're doing.
Say one thing. Hungry. All right, Mr. Mayor and Council, the next presentation is item 6.2, Hispanic Heritage Month essay winner presentation, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Councilwoman?
Mayor and Council, this evening I'd like to recognize three brilliant young minds who are the winners of our Hispanic Heritage Month essay contest. This is a part of my Earn As You Learn initiative. And so I'm going to call the students up, and they're going to read their essays to you, and we're going to present them with a check. These students were tasked and focused with writing an essay on a Hispanic person who has made significant contributions to America. So I'd like to call up Kalila. Please come on up and read up your essay. And Kalila is our third place winner. Please state the school that you attend and your grade, Kalila. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kalila Flats Nelson. The school I go to is American Christian Future, and the grade I am is 7th grade. I read it? Okay. Hispanic culture has had a big impact on Americans' life, especially in music, food, and fashion. Starting with the music, it has brought a lot of energy and fun styles to the American culture, from the salsa to the reggaeton and Latin pop, which are all very popular to the famous culture. From the artists like Shakira and Bad Bunny, they have made these genres over music famous all over the world. Hispanic music often makes people want to dance and enjoy life. The atmosphere has helped different cultures together and influenced American music more to be diverse and exciting to listen to. Another huge influence from the Hispanic culture is the food. It has transitioned what many Americans eat every day. From the delicious dishes like tacos, burritos, and quesadillas are famous for many people. Mexican food in particular is very popular, and we can find Mexican restaurants almost everywhere in America. Ingredients like avocado, chili peppers, and cilantro are now common in American kitchen. Hispanic food brings people together to enjoy meals with family and friends. Furthermore, Hispanic culture has also influenced American fashion, from the bright colors, beautiful ombres, and unique patterns. From Hispanic traditions are now seen in many clothes designers. Designers like Oscar de la Renta and Carolina Herrera have brought these styles to high fashion, making them popular around the world. The famous shows and festivals celebrate this rich culture, and inspires new traditions that have been witnessed in American culture. Hispanic culture has made American life richer and more colorful through its music, food, and fashion. These influencers have helped people appreciate different cultures and brought more varieties and excitement to everyday life.
Great job.
Thank you.
And Kalila is our third place winner. And what we're going to do is at the end, we're going to bring you all up together and we'll take one group picture with our mayor and council, okay? Thank you, darling. And Kalila's walking away with $100. She earned as she learned, so she get to use this for Christmas. Our second place winner this evening, I would like to call up Chandler Nahove. Hi, Chandler. Nice to meet you as well.
Good evening. My name is Sharon Nahova, and I'm a sophomore, and I attend Miami Northern Senior High. My essay was just about what you guys told me to write. According to the U.S. According to U.S. Census, Hispanics make 90% of the U.S. population, being the largest minority in the country. Being the largest minority group in the United States gives Spanish culture a large influence on the rest of the United States. Its culture has influenced everything from music, food, and even sports. Their vibrant heritage reflects the hardship endured to immigrate to the U.S., let alone in Florida, 30% of its residents are Hispanic. With its increasing population, its cultural influence is soon to be fully integrated with the United States adapting culture. Musically, Hispanic culture is everywhere throughout the world. There are several genres like salsa, reggaeton, and merengue. No matter where you're from, chances are you'll know a couple words from reggaeton artist Daddy Yankee's hit song Gasolina. Other prominent artists use their music to raise awareness and promote Hispanic culture. Some of these include Celia Cruz, who used her influence to celebrate and promote Cuban culture and influence millions of Hispanic people to integrate with the U.S. culture. Here in Florida, we incorporate Spanish music, playing it in shops and stores and giving it a Hispanic flair. When most think about Hispanic food, they think tacos. However, Hispanic culture has way more influence than just tacos. In the 1900s, new chains of Tex-Mex restaurants emerged, giving an American spin on Mexican cuisine. On the other hand, street food thrived in places like California with Mexican street corn and empanadas. Hispanic culture has also affected fields like sports. Roberto Clemente is one of the most notable baseball players in history. He advocated for racial equality and against racial discrimination when he played for the Pirates. Now the Latinos represent 30.2% of the Major League Baseball, being the biggest ethnic group of players in the league. To sum it up, Hispanic and Latino culture has extended from the local regions and influenced the United States. From music to sports, there isn't one profession that lacks a famous Hispanic figure. Not only have they conquered jobs, they've also helped with politics and advocated for equal rights.
That was awesome. And you notice that he plugged in a lot of data in his essay, and this is why we do the Earn as You Learn, and we allow these kids to be creative and to use their minds. So thank you very much, Chandler. And so Chandler is walking away with $200. He's the second place winner. Good job. And our first place winner, I'd like to call up Julian Farrington.
Hello, council members. My name is Julian Farrington, and I also go to Miami Norland Senior High School, and I'm currently in the 11th grade. As a student leader and advocate for underrepresented communities, I have dedicated my efforts to empowering youth through education and inclusivity. My passion for this topic has been profound, and I understand firsthand how Hispanic culture has profoundly transformed America as Afro-Latina myself, significantly impacting the Black community and people of color. This influence fosters inclusivity and enriches the educational experience for all. Leaders like Helen Ochoa, Antonio Panjoa, and Louis Von Ahn have shaped the future that empowers unserved groups and ensures that education is accessible to all. Helen Ochoa, the first woman in space, she shattered barriers for women in STEM and inspired young women of color that they should embrace science and technology. Providing in these fields belong to everyone. Her journey instills hope and ambition in those who have felt overlooked. Antonio Plagina. ASPRA's initiative has empowered countless Hispanic and Black youth, empathizing leadership and education. Her vision underscores that every child, regardless of their background, deserves a chance to succeed. Louis Von Ahn, founder of Duolingo. Personally, I use it. This revolutionized the language learning, making it accessible for students that go through underfunded school partnerships. This particularly benefits the Black community and minority groups by dispelling the myth that undermine their educational prospects. As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we must continue to shape education and preserve the legacies of these Hispanic leaders. Their impact is vital for our future as today's youth becomes the world's tomorrow's leaders, fueling change and fostering unity, inspiring hope, and reminding us that together we can build a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. If you ask me, I think that the future of Miami Gardens looks bright. So Mayor and Council, if you guys would just...
Councilwoman, Julian, don't you hold office you want to tell the people what you do at school?
So for a little what I do a lot. Currently, Currently, I'm working on my nonprofit, Julian's Gateway, where I'll be helping students around Miami-Dade County learn about a little more leader positions. So currently, I hold 20 different spots across the world. Yes, across the world. And I've been recognized as a national scholar throughout everywhere, recognized by the president, Federico Wilson, and just different people around the politician world. I even got recognized by Kamala Harris herself for my outstanding work. Currently, I've been dedicating all my work for my nonprofit where I'll help students. And right now, I'm actually gonna have my Christmas event, which I'm hoping to actually talk to you guys about that later today.
And don't you hold
Make sure you get
office?
Councilman Leon's number.
Yeah. Have him fund you 100%. But you also currently hold office. Tell us what office you hold.
Let me get my phone out. So I also hold City of Miami Gardens Junior Council Mayor. We actually will have our first meeting very soon. And I've held this
Say that
position
again.
for 3
Say
years.
that again. The City of Miami Gardens Junior Council Mayor.
Yes.
Yes.
But alongside with that, I am a 2023 NEAR Project Fellow, Miami New Orleans Senior High School Blood Drive President for 3 years, Miami National Honor Society Second Vice President for 2 years, Miami Senior High School 5000 Model Secretary 2 years, going on to be President for next year, Miami-Dade Youth Commission, Miami-Dade Public Schools District SGA First Vice President, which I just got elected for that as well. I was Miami New Orleans Senior High School Freshman Class President and Sophomore Class President, and I just got elected for SJ First Vice President as well. And then hopefully for next year, I'll be Mr. Miami New Orleans.
I think that is a
Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
See, these are our students, and these are our residents that live in Miami Gardens. And one more, Chandler, stand up.
Well, Chandler, come back to the podium.
Chandler also graduated from him and my daughter went to middle school together, and I think he had the highest GPA in the class. Right, Chandler?
I believe I have like 4.9 or 4.8.
That's high
somewhere
enough.
around that.
Councilman, do you know who his mother is? He has no choice.
And Chandler, you play football, correct?
No, I play basketball.
Basketball, okay.
Congratulations, young man.
Thank you very much.
A scholar and an athlete. Love it.
So we gave equal time to the two young men.
That's right.
Young lady, you want to
That's
come
right.
up and...
That's right. We saved the best for last, Mayor.
Mama coming with her. Mama coming.
I have been a resident of Miami Gardens for over 17 years. This is my second daughter after 20 years. She may not attend a school in Miami Gardens.
He lives here.
But she has not in Miami Gardens. She may not attend school here. She goes to school in Hialeah. She also have a special need that a lot of us cannot see. She keeps an annual free Easter egg hunt every year on 207th Street in Cedar Grove. We fund the money. She gets the money and end up making care packages and feeding the homeless in Cedar Grove. We became friendly with Miss Jennifer when the seniors wanted to clean the streets. That was their community service. At 4 or 5 years old, she was the first one joining them, cleaning Miami Gardens. So that's why I have her also participate.
And again, these are our children.
That's right. We
So
love
let
to
us
see
know
it.
what you need help with. Okay?
We love to see it. So at this time, the mayor and council is going to join me up front, and then we're going to allow each one of you to get a group picture with us.
All right, Mr. Mayor and Council, we're now on to the next presentation, item 6.3, special presentation by Councilman Stevens.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. My computer is taking a while to upload, to turn on. So I just want to go ahead and dive right into it. It's my talking points. Do you have a copy of them? No? Yeah, don't worry. On November 1st, November 1st is National Authors Day. And in the past, we, for the last 4 years, have acknowledged local authors from the city of Miami Gardens, those who have contributed to society by telling their story or how they feel in a piece, in a form of a book. This year, we decided to go into our local schools and do a read-in, versus holding a reception. So I just wanted to, but I still wanted to acknowledge the authors. So I'm going to call their names and ask them to join us up here and receive a trophy that reads, "In honor of National Authors Day, myself, Councilman Robert Stevens, recognize you as a literacy trailblazer in the city of Miami Gardens on this day of November 13th, 2024. Congratulations. This initiative this year was in partnership with our state representative, Felicia Robinson." The first author up is Dr. Michael Woodward. You can come down now. That Tony will.
This is for me?
Wow. Hold on. What's this?
And you can just stand there, Doc. There you go. We visit Scott Lake Elementary this year, and Dr. Woodward was one of the authors that was there, and you should have saw the energy that he had in the room with our young people, inspiring them and encouraging them to just be great and live out their full potential. So thank you for that, as well as Mr. Stephen McGill, who participated as well at Scott Lake Elementary this past, was it a week or two ago? November 1st, to encourage our young people. We had a group of, I believe, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders that was present. They all received books from these authors to take home with them as well. Next up, Miss Erica Perry. Miss Shanika Brown. And Miss Kathy Coachman Wands. Dr. Powell said you her neighbor.
That's my neighbor.
Please make sure everything is spelled right, or you will get an email from
That's
Ms.
right.
Wanza.
Ms. Wanza will email you.
Ms.
She
Wanza will send you an
email
email. Make sure all signage
That's right.
is spelled right.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, neighbor.
Mr. Ray, and these next two honorees, they were honored last year and have contributed to every National Authors Day that we've held. And I thought it was important. They didn't receive their award, but I wanted to make sure we acknowledge them publicly as well. Mr. Ray Shipman and Ms. Monique Cooper. Little Ray. Congratulations and thank you for what you do by way of your books and contributing. I'm going to ask my colleagues if you can join us for a quick group picture. Thank you. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Mayor, we're now on to public comments.
All right. Do you have any written communication, Mr. Clerk?
No written communications,
No
Mayor.
written communication. I have several cards here. The first person will be Danielle Allen Otakiti. Please tell me how to pronounce your name.
It's Danielle Alio Otokiti.
Mr. Ziegler, you're next.
My name is Danielle, and today I will be discussing how there are not a lot of healthy food options
Danielle,
here.
before you start, we need to say your address for the record, please.
16401 Northwest 37th Avenue, Miami Gardens 33054.
Thank you.
Sorry. My name is Danielle, and today I will be discussing how there are not a lot of healthy food options in Miami Gardens. Considering there are two colleges, Florida Memorial University and St. Thomas University, that hold a high percentage of athletes in this area, I believe that good nutrition should be promoted. On 27th Avenue alone, unhealthy options of food consist of McDonald's, Wendy's, Domino's, Burger King, KFC, Wingstop, and healthy options consist of tropical smoothie. Chipotle can be debatable for both. Pretty healthy. As you can see from this list, the proportion of unhealthy options outweighs the healthy. To support our athletes in doing their best, there should be more healthy options of food for when they want to eat outside of the cafeteria in their school. This can be in the form of juice bars, salad and sandwich shops, sushi places. And we also need more food options for people that have dietary requirements, that are gluten-free, vegan places, vegetarian, pescatarian. Doing this can enhance performance, support overall health, and better our community.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. John Ziegler, 18501 Northwest 22nd Court, Miami Gardens, Florida. I'd like to say that those of you who did not attend the Veteran Stand Down event, you missed a great event. It was fantastic. I want to say thank you to Sam Randall and his team of people, and also to the rec center over there, Betty T. Ferguson. Those folks did an outstanding job. One thing I got to say, I received a phone call from Councilman Reggie Leon. And he told me that one of our members passed away, William Bland. I want to tell you that William Bland was a member of the Veterans Committee, and William Bland was a hell of a guy. He wasn't no foot dragger. He wasn't no person that slacked. Anytime I asked him to do something, he did it. You know, he was committed to the committee. He did a hell of a job. I know that last time I was here, the mayor asked all of you to go ahead and make your selections. You know, I implore you to do that so that you can make a strong selection of members that need to be on the committee. The committee don't need no foot draggers. The committee don't need nobody that don't want to do nothing. Just sit their behind down there and say they're on the committee. So I respectfully ask you to vet anyone that you put on the committee, because it's a working committee. It's not a committee that people just sit around and do nothing. The Veteran Committee is very important, you know, and they do a hell of a job. Now, I'm no longer on the committee, but I'm there. You know, and William Bland, was a hell of a soldier. You know, they call him Carolina Black, home of the silverback. And you talk to him, that's what he'll say. I talked to William Bland last week. He was at the VA hospital, you know, and I told him that, hey, look, you know, we got an award for you, you know, and I'll be out there to give it to you. And I called on Monday. I couldn't get in contact with him, you know, for the past few days. And then this morning, Councilman Leon called me and told me that he had passed away. You know, so my prayers go out to him and his family, and anything that he needs, I'll be there for him. And on another note, Ms. Linda Julian, the couple that just bought their home, I got airline tickets for him. He can take his wife on a vacation.
Mr. Ziegler, you are the gift that just keeps on giving. Thank you. They're going to appreciate this. Aww.
Ms. Cunningham and then Ms. Hughes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here again, Gail Cunningham, 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue. Thank you. I'm here again to say no to any ballot language ever being approved by the Miami Gardens City Council, which would then become a ballot item during a special, primary, general election, etc., referencing an additional term or terms to the present 2 terms for a publicly elected public servant, the mayor and/or the council persons. Thoroughly understanding the present standing of terms and the responsibilities to the office of publicly elected public servants, I say no to ballot language ever being approved by the mayor and council members referenced an extension of terms. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hughes?
Good evening, Council. Reed Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. During the Meet Me Monday meeting held November 4th, 2024, at Walt Frazier Park and on Zoom with Vice Mayor, an ongoing concern about trailers on one's property was brought up from a resident, and code enforcement was in attendance to address the concerns of the resident. Also, during the conversation about the trailers, the Vice Mayor mentioned 3 words that caught my attention: accessory dwelling unit, which is defined as a smaller independent living space located on the same property as a single-family home, typically including its own kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping area, and can be attached to or detached from the main house. It's not like it's not already happening. When individuals install privacy fences, legally or illegally, in some cases, another structure is about to take place. So I bring this to your attention to ask, has there been or is there any ongoing conversations being had with city staff and council members about accessory dwelling units in the city of Miami Gardens? If so, what are your plans to meet with the residents and taxpayers to share their concerns and give feedback? Because something of this magnitude will have a major impact in this city. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Selmika.
Hello, everyone. My name is Salmika Buzali. I reside at 16401 Northwest 37th Avenue in Miami Gardens 33054. I'm an international student studying at St. Thomas University, and I've come here today to bring to light a pressing issue that I've taken note of since moving to Miami Gardens, and that I've also discussed with locals, which is flooding. So as we all know, Miami Gardens is no stranger to heavy rains and increase in tropical rainstorms. In recent years, flooding has become a frequent occurrence, damaging homes, disrupting lives, and causing a significant economic strain as well. It's not just a problem for homeowners, but also for local businesses, public services, and infrastructure. The causes of flooding in Miami Gardens can be attributed to a variety of reasons, according to the research that I've done on my own. From outdated drainage systems that can't cope with the volume of water, to rapid urbanization that has reduced the land's ability to absorb the rainwater. One possible solution that I've come up with on my own is the implementation of green infrastructure, which would be the most sustainable approach to flood management. Green infrastructure includes solutions like permeable surfaces, rain gardens, and expanded urban tree canopies, which would absorb and manage the rainwater in a sustainable way and naturally. This could be done in tandem with a modernization of our city's drainage system as well. Further, an increase in investments towards flood mitigation projects such as stormwater retention basins could also help as well. So by incorporating both natural and engineered solutions, I think that we could reduce flooding risks and help ensure a sustainable future for Miami Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you. Lorenzo Johnson. Pastor Dunn.
Good evening. We are here in behalf of Community Youth Against Violence organization, and I know we probably need more time, and we had already sent out our information to each council so they can look at it. We are joined force with Dade County JSD, in which we have a program called Operational Teen Curfew. And it's a county-wide initiative in which we have been meeting with all the municipalities, Opelika, Homestead, Florida City, and all those municipalities. In January, we're going to be launching a ribbon cut in reference to everybody contributing to this. The curfew is just only to help and assist and try to develop accountability in the household. We have to go to the root of the situation. And we're here only to assist. We don't need your money. We don't need your money. We're just here to assist and try to have some type of connection and some collaboration that we could do this. We're just trying to get everybody, in order for this thing to have power, we know that every municipality has the right to say yes or no. But if everybody said yes, that means that locks things in. That means that's a countywide initiative in which it's more psychological than anything when they know. And we know that the responsibility will go on the parent. We do have some thoughts and some things. If we can work it out if there's any question later. We do have the booklet here. If any councilman didn't get any, we could give you another one. And we'd like to be able to try to get the city of Miami Garden to adopt this as the other cities. We got the thumbs up from, we've been in front of Opelika, all those other things. We got a thumbs up on that. And everybody is ready to go. Tomorrow we meet with another committee. So just brief, I'm going to let Rep. Dunn say right quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. This particular template was actually tried and proven back in 2010, 2011 in the city of Miami, District 5, which demographics are similar to the city of Miami Gardens. The reason I know was because I served as the District 5 commissioner, which is synonymous with council persons here in the city of Miami Gardens. And I was faced as the one representative with areas such as Liberty City, Overtown, Little Haiti. There was a preponderance of crimes occurring with many of our youth in that particular area. Most of them occurred after hours, which we felt should be children under 17 and under should be home and not out in the streets. I know people say this all the time, like the way most of us grew up. And it was tested by ACLU because they were saying that this would be punitive and that we were trying to criminalize our brown and black youth. And I told them in no way in heaven, that's not exactly what I said, but there's no way in heaven that I would be a part of something that would criminalize our brown and black youth. And it stood the legal test. And it was so successful that we have the records and the data to show that crime was reduced, and every commissioner in the city of Miami ended up adopting the teen curfew because they saw the success of it in District 5. So we would humbly ask you, Mr. Mayor, and council members to consider something of this magnitude for our youth. I was so impressed as I saw our young people today. It was just amazing. I just want to thank you all for what you're doing. They are our right now, and certainly you're doing a great job in your mentoring. And so this would help prayerfully to provide safety, not only for youth, but for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anyone needs one of these, can I give you? If anybody needs one of these, did they not get a copy of it?
Yeah, they can make sure they. Just leave a few, Mr. Johnson.
One of our board members, if I may add, Pastor Britt, is also standing with us.
Thank you. Thank you,
He's
guys.
an AME pastor. So we'll.
It's the Baptist that matters.
Darrell Thomas. Ms. Robinson, you may well hang out right here with him.
Oh, yes. I love here.
Darrell Thomas, address is 2420 Northwest 132nd Street. Good evening to the dais, leadership, administration, and residents of this beautiful city of Miami Gardens. My name is Coach D. Many of you know me as Coach D. Darrell Thomas, Health and Fitness Facilitator of Miami Gardens. I'm the current co-lead Health and Wellness Coordinator of the Circle of Brotherhood, Miami, Florida. I'm speaking tonight in regards to our pickleball initiative that was started in January 2023, about 20 months ago. This sport has become a worldwide phenomenon since the pandemic crisis of 2020. This game was a way to stay active outdoors, to stay exercising, and still socially active, even though we were practicing social distancing. The game is being played somewhere right now where I need to be in Rolling Oaks. It is a fun game, it's a competitive game, and it's an exciting game for our communities, as well as our cultures and nationalities, as well as different ages, from the young to the young at heart. We would like to personally thank the City Council, the City Manager, and the Parks and Recreation leadership for bringing this concept to a reality. We want to thank y'all. With courts at Bunch Park, Norwood Park, Buccaneer Park, and the beautiful Rolling Oaks Park, and a spot name will be named later as y'all speak on the agenda. We have had a successful pickleball clinics at Bunch Park, as well as Sunday just passed by. Our pickleball clinics are with Greek Pickleball, as well as our other collaborators as We Pickle, Miami Garden Smashers, and also Pickleball Lifestyle Club. We have a lot of enthusiastic participants on Sunday. We want to personally thank Councilwoman Katrina Baskins, Councilwoman Powell, for their input, their sponsorship, and even participating. And we want to just thank everyone that will continue to push this narrative, and we just want it to be great in the city of Miami Gardens forward.
My name is Carla Robinson, 1715 Northwest 179 Terrace, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. Over a year ago, I came before the council with my son, Anthony Robinson, and we met with and I spoke about pickleball coming to Miami Gardens because I realized how popular the game was and is, and I wanted it in my black community. And we also met with Parks and Recreation with my brother, Pickleball Harry, and we are just so proud to see that it is in the great city of Miami Gardens. We have it in, like he said, in Bunch Park. We have 6 courts in Rolling Oaks. I went to different meetings, always wearing my shirt. I'm known as the pickleball lady. Proudly, we will say that. And I'm just so thankful for the council for seeing the vision and supporting me in my efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
One more thing I would like to add to that real quick, and she doesn't know this, but because of her passion behind this, we as a pickleball community are respectfully requesting that we name those parks at Rolling Oaks after Carla Robinson. As an honor to her, I remember when she called me that January morning and said, "Do you know what pickleball is?" And my response, it was, "What is pickleball?" And since then, we not only play every day, we are playing competitively. We have a tournament on Friday, and we won a lot of awards. So we really would like our community to be a part of this movement because there's a lot you can do with this pickleball. We've already talked about Divine Nine pickleball parties. We've talked about stuff with our youngsters. Art Basel. It's a lot you can do with this vehicle. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Any other public comments? Showing no more public comments. Public comments are now closed. We're on reports from the council and the mayor. Councilman Stevens.
Yes, Mayor, I have a very quick report, but before I dive into my report, I want to give a huge shout out to someone who's dear and near to my heart that's visiting from New Jersey. Mama Aretha, stand up so that we can acknowledge you and properly welcome you to the beautiful city of Miami Gardens. Attending your first council meeting. She hangs out with us often at some of the city initiatives and events, but this is her first city council meeting. It's cold in Jersey, so she decided to come down and get some of this good weather. On Monday, November 25th at 10 a.m., I'll be partnering with the Progressive Firefighters Association and 99 Jams to host our annual Thanksgiving drive-through turkey giveaway. Again, that would take place at our community center starting at 10 a.m., and that's Monday, November 25th. I encourage you all and invite you to join me for my monthly Table Talk Tuesday meeting. We canceled the meeting for this month due to the election, but we're ending the year strong. So that would be on December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. at our local Starbucks for a conversation over coffee to discuss ways that we can continue to make our community a place where you want to be. And then on Wednesday, December 4th at 5:30 p.m., I'll be partnering with Dream and Green LLC to present a community forum for residents to share their concerns and priorities on environmental issues, and that would be held at our community center starting at 5:30 p.m. I also want to congratulate my colleague, Councilwoman Linda Julian, who was duly elected by the people for a second term. Congratulations, Councilwoman. You endured a lot, and the people spoke, and that's all that matters. So congratulations, and I look forward to continue working with you.
That's it?
Yes, that is my
Jeez. Councilwoman Powell.
Ooh, we're going to order today. I'd like to second that celebration of having Councilwoman Linda Julian back on the dais. Well earned. I know you earned it out there. So we've had a lot of good things go on in October. And to end the October on the 25th, we had Laugh It Off, Healing Through Laughter, Breast Cancer Awareness. We had about 150 guests, and we had 6 comedians, and we laughed a lot. We had a great time, and it turned out to be an excellent event. In addition, my work is in health and fitness, and I have been very active this past month. In October, we were talking about breast cancer, of course, and we ended it on managing Alzheimer's and dementia. This month, if you haven't tuned in, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I'm hosting on the Miami Gardens YouTube channel. We're talking about diabetes and ending diabetes, and the next 2 weeks we'll be dealing with holiday stress. So, and having family members and also the things that go along with it. This Saturday, there will be an additional turkey giveaway. And for anyone, again, buy your trunk, just drive on by at Holy Faith Missionary Baptist Church at 17001 Northwest 20th Avenue. If you don't have a turkey, or if you know someone who may want one, please stop by. And coming in yesterday we had our Walk and Talk with the Doc, which is my community awareness event, and we have our second Tuesday at Bunch Park, and coming up on the 4th Tuesday will be at Scott Park. So please join me for C3. I look forward to hearing your ideas, your thoughts, and getting some update. But it's walk and talk, so we will be walking afterwards. So if you will, please bring your tennies, wear them. And I'm going to give my final words to be tip for the rest of this month. Listen to your body. That's the tip. Back to you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Councilman Leon.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple things. About a week ago, I had the pleasure of serving as principal for the day to Miami New Orleans Senior High School. And I also had an opportunity to meet with the students in student government at Miami New Orleans. So we had a conversation on what they expected out of us and what could we do as a city to help them out. And one of the things that the students actually brought up is the transportation. We know that there's a lot of activities going on throughout the schools, and Dade County School Buses isn't providing activity buses anymore. I know when some of us went to school, we had activity buses if you were in the band and different organizations like that. So just to the mayor, to the city manager's office, a couple things I would like to look at for our schools within our community. I know when we built our trolley system, our schools are typically on the routes, but there's a disconnect in the schools knowing that the trolley is out there and that it's free. So if we can do some outreach to the schools to make sure that they understand that this trolley is there for those kids also, the hours out. Maybe we can get some flyers out to the schools, meet our community engagement people, meet with those different principals so they know that. And also the kids did their own research, and they brought up freebie services, which I talked to you about, looking into freebie, similar to an Uber, but around the community. It doesn't leave out the neighborhood. So those are some things I would like for you guys to look at and bring back to us for some additional transportation options for our kids. And lastly, I want to have a moment of silence for Bland Williams. He was my appointee to the Veterans Affairs Committee, and he actually took his job very, very seriously. Long-time, lifelong resident of the city of Miami Gardens. So if we can have a quick moment of silence for him. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That ends my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Julian.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Miami Gardens. It feels good to be here tonight, fresh from the campaign trail, where I shook so many hands and heard so many of your concerns that will fuel me for the next 4 years. I'm grateful for every single one of those moments because each one reminded me who this work is really for. On November 5th, you spoke loud and you spoke proud. Miami Gardens, you made it loud and clear that integrity over lies, unity over division, truth over noise, and disinformation. With 61% of the vote, you chose progress, and tonight I am humbled to stand here or to sit here as your voice. And with that being said, the next 4 years will be about the vision we're building for Miami Gardens. Inclusive, safe, and full of opportunity for all. Thank you, Miami Gardens, for believing in what we can achieve together. Here's to the future we're creating, one step and one victory at a time. Just last month, I sponsored a kids' cultural cooking day, partnering with Eat Well Exchange to teach our children how to create nutritious dishes rooted in culture. And let's not forget our popular Pilates sessions that take place over at Betty T. Seats are filling up fast, so be on the lookout for the next one. It's a community favorite. For those impacted by the recent storms, we've set up the Linda's Lifeline, which is a resource hub to help our residents recover and rebuild. If you need access to this, please visit my social media page or just shoot me an email. And as we look ahead, I encourage everyone to join us on my favorite day of the year, Give Miami Day, which is taking place next Thursday, November 21st, in supporting non-for-profits throughout Miami-Dade County and Greater Miami who do critical work for our community. Our very own Friends of Miami Gardens, which is the nonprofit linked to the city and who provides help when in need, when folks are in need, is also participating in Give Miami Day for the first time this year. And so please consider making a contribution. Your dollars will go a long way and they will be matched. And coming this December, I am sponsoring LOUD, which stands for Love of Urban Design. It's a week-long celebration of Black art and culture with events like poetry nights, art exhibits, and a fashion show to showcase the immense talent in our community. Artists, designers, creatives, this is your moment, and we can't wait to see you shine. The economic impact of the arts in Miami-Dade County is $2.1 billion, and the arts generate 32,000 local jobs. Miami Gardens supports our diverse and equitable cultural ecosystem in innovative ways so that our residents and visitors can enjoy and have access to excellent cultural activities. And I would like to say to my colleague, Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson, the last 2 years, job well done as serving as Vice Mayor. Yes, it was truly great to see you in your role and in your element, and I must say that you have led that role with integrity and with class, and you're definitely a class act. And to my colleague, Councilman Stevens, who will be appointed this evening.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Well, maybe.
You got to pay.
Congratulations to you in advance on, possibly being appointed as Vice Mayor. And in closing, I would like to recognize the students from my Miami-Dade College American Government class. If you all would just stand one more time. They're joining us tonight. This is their final exam. I know they'd rather be home, but they're here with us tonight. I want to thank Cameron Benson, our city manager, for being my guest lecturer. But I must say that in August, when I started this class with these students, it was a week after the primary elections, and there are 25 students in my class. And when I asked how many students had voted in the primaries, 0 hands went up. None of them had voted. So just imagine, fast forward now to November, 25 students in the course, 17 of them are registered to vote, and 15 of them voted. And that's because I drilled it into their heads every single day. And so that's 88% of my class who went out and voted, because I spoke to them about the importance of letting their voices be heard. Your vote is your superpower. And so I'm immensely proud of you, and thank you for being here this evening. And that ends my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Baskin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to talk about my program that I launched, the Teacher Educator of the Quarter Recognition Program, which I launched on November 7th. This is my pilot year, so I started out with only 7 schools in Residential Area 1. The schools were Barbara Hawkins Elementary, North County K-8, Carroll City Elementary, Frederica S. Wilson Skyway Elementary, Miami Gardens Elementary, and Brentwood Elementary. So what the Educator of the Quarter Recognition Program is the opportunity to celebrate outstanding educators in Miami Gardens who have demonstrated exceptional dedication, creativity, and impact in the classroom and the community. This program highlights the invaluable contributions of teachers, counselors, and educational staff who inspire and shape the future of our city's youth. So the principals or assistant principals at the school sites had an opportunity to nominate the educators. We have 4 categories, either the Innovative Teacher Award, the Community Champion Award, the Excellence in Student Support Award, and the Rising Star Award. So I wanted to also patronize a local business in Miami Gardens. So this first quarter luncheon was held at Lorna's, the famous Lorna's in Miami Gardens. And although it was a small token, I want to thank my colleagues that were able to attend, Mayor Harris, Vice Mayor Robert Stevens,
Not yet.
Councilman Robert Stevens, that were able to attend. And it was really a small gesture, but I know how important it is to acknowledge teachers who are underpaid, but I never want teachers, as an educator myself, to feel undervalued. So they cried, although we just had lunch, certificates, and small trophies. It was an opportunity for them to get away and just to let them know how much the city of Miami Gardens appreciates how much they instill into our baby residents of the city. So that took place on November 7th. On November 12th, which was last night, I had my very first town hall meeting, which I think it was a success. I want to thank Mr. City Manager for coming and helping to facilitate that meeting. It was very informative. The residents had an opportunity to answer questions, and thank you to the departments that came, was Public Works, Code Enforcement, and the Police Department. As a resident of Residential Area 1, I know the concerns of the area very well, and although I'm able to answer questions, I felt it was very important for them to get more specific, detailed answers to their questions. So to the department heads, I appreciate your presence. The residents were calling and texting me from last night till today. I just got another one while I was sitting here saying thank you. It was a great informative meeting. They got questions answered, and they are looking forward to the next meeting. So thank you. Also, mark your calendars for December 10th, which will be my next town hall meeting. Even though I am Residential Area 1 council member, all are welcome to attend. We'll have different department heads there. You're welcome to come no matter where you live. And again, congratulations to Councilwoman Linda Julian. It's nice to be sitting next to you for these 4 years. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Going back to Councilwoman Powell.
Thank you for giving me that extra 60 seconds I request. I just want to let everybody know that when you're a new council person, it's a big job to learn all the new information. Both myself and Councilwoman Baskin have had the honor of having an analyst supervisor work with us, and I really want to honor her by recognizing the outstanding work she's done in being there for us during this transition time. Michelle McKenzie, if you would stand, please. I think we need to recognize her for the hard work working with 2 and 3
Michelle,
council
come
people.
up here so you could be seen. Come.
Yes. Because she's had to work with myself, Councilwoman Baskin, and Councilwoman Linda Julian, and that's a big load. And I just want to say thank you because it's really, really appreciated. And sometimes our admin team doesn't get their recognitions. Just thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Vice Mayor.
All right, all right. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I am just excited about what's going to happen and take place on Sunday here in the city. Our Women's Commission last year commissioned a gathering of women across the city, and we had well over 100 or so that came together to discuss the issues that were facing the women in Miami Gardens. And those issues included food scarcity and food choice. It talked about our health and both physical as well as our mental health. We talked about our safety and the kinds of concerns that we have about those issues. And I tell you, even about marriage and family and taking care of our children, the status of education and the quality of education in the city of Miami Gardens. And from that, we pulled away a study that revealed to us and crystallized to us, all of us, some very phenomenal things that we are going to share through a television production. And so this weekend, our findings are going to be recorded and later uploaded onto our public access television as well as our YouTube channel. And I want you to watch it because, I know that oftentimes when we talk about women's issues, people really probably see it as an emotional kind of thing. But there were so many things that women are involved in now, as our resident doctor has indicated. That is, we have to not only listen to our bodies, but we have to listen to one another so that we can find the common threads that allow us to work and organize together. So I'm very, very excited about that project. And if you are around, feel free to come in and just observe the process of how these women have worked so very, very hard to pull this report together, to crystallize it, and now to use it to inform the work that we are going to do for the women and the children in Miami Gardens. So I'm very, very excited about that. We also had our Colors of Cancer basketball tournament where children from around the county came in to play to heighten the awareness that in the month of October, not only are we celebrating pink as breast cancer, but we're also taking a moment to pause and to really analyze the kinds of cancers that people are battling all over the world, and to really bring it home right here in our place that we call home, and to inform the residents, to heighten it, to bring our youth awareness to what kinds of cancers are out there, how their families and their communities are being impacted, and competitively to use their skill set to make the community aware that we play for good health. We compete for good health, not just for the act of recreation, but for the act of becoming better informed about our wellness. I also have my annual prosperity basket that I will be giving out to my residents. Since I initially was elected, I understand the importance, as many of our essay writers said, of families coming together, of friends coming together to enjoy each other over food. And some of the cultural dishes that people prepare and join together, I give to my residents because I want them to go home with their children, with their families, and share a prosperous meal together. That will be done on December 21st at Walt Frazier. All you have to do is sign up. We'll give you a voucher. You'll get your bag full of goodies, and you can take it home and share it with your friends and your family. Additionally, we have our toy giveaway at Brentwood Elementary. If you would like to volunteer as we share to many of our students so many gifts, so that if maybe at home Christmas won't be a dark day, but it'll be a wonderful day because Santa will already have delivered some toys. And finally, my wonderful aide is not here, Jamal Ingram.
Married.
Because he's getting married. And I am so proud of him and his wife, and I'm glad that the family is coming together. And I told him if he didn't marry her, I was going to kill him. And so he's in fear of his life. And so this Saturday, I would ask for your prayers and your well wishes for him, his family, and his new bride, and that God will bless that family with a multitude of children and prosperity. And to you, my friend, I am looking forward to just my 2 more years with you. I know you worked hard, and nobody knows what it's like to be in that sun, fighting.
Yes, we do.
To continue, yes.
Look, we know.
We know. To continue to serve the people. You pay a price for it.
That's right.
You pay a price for it, but there's nothing greater than to serve you guys.
Absolutely.
And then my final comment, for real, is I would be remiss if I didn't say something about the Veterans Stand Down. It was a stellar event. And as I said that day, I'm going to say it today. I had a friend of mine who was a chief petty officer in the Navy. And one day he was telling me about his experience and he began to cry. And I said, why are you crying? And he said to me, he said, you don't know what we do when you guys are asleep to keep you safe so that you can wake up the next morning, get in your Cadillacs and your cars and go to church or go to your local grocery store. He said, we pay a price. And we are not able oftentimes to talk about it. So when you see a veteran, you've got to see someone that raised their hand and say, I'll lay down my life for you. And so for me and to me, it is worth a moment to really acknowledge them and to say thank you. Thank you for your service. And so that ends my report.
Well said. Well said. My report will be short. I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of speak to 3 of my colleagues. First, Councilwoman Julian, congratulations. Well deserved. Look forward to serving with you for the next 4 years, making sure that those dreams and aspirations that we have for this city are carried out. Well deserved. Well deserved. To this lady sitting to my left, it's been 2 years. You've been my vice mayor, and I want to thank you for serving in that capacity. In my absence at times, you've done well, and it was a pleasure. And I know I speak on behalf of all the residents, and I speak on behalf of this dais. Your just reward, you'll always be the vice mayor, okay? You'll always be the vice mayor. And then to my city attorney, we know this has been a hard week for you. For those of you that don't know, our city attorney lost her father this week. This family here loves you. We do, really. We love you, and we're here for you. And let it be known that I'm sure your dad was very proud of you, because you are the best city attorney in the entire country.
AV rated, baby.
So you all keep her and her family in your prayers. And let's keep Miami Gardens moving forward. All right. Mr. Clerk, where are we?
All All right. We are on ordinances on for second reading and public hearing. Item 10.1, in order to the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorize the city manager to enter into a ground lease for the property generally located at 2775 Northwest 183rd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida 33056, in accordance with the lease agreement in substantial form attached here to is Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager, and this is a public hearing.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, this past last meeting, there are no changes. Staff recommends approval.
All right. Public comments on this item is open. 10-1. Public comments on this item is open. Any written communication about this item?
No written communications, Mayor.
Showing none, show public comments closed. I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any concerns or from the dais? Showing none, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Sorry, my computer just shut down. All right, we're now on to item 10.2. In order to the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 1 of the City of Miami Gardens Code of Ordinances by creating Section 1-14 entitled Alternative Method for Advertisement and Public Notices to authorize the publishing of legally required advertisement and public notices on a publicly accessible website of Miami-Dade County in accordance with Florida Statute 50.0311, providing for adoption of reputation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the city clerk, and this is a public hearing.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Mayor, I bring this ordinance to you on second reading. There is no changes. I recommend approval.
Public comments on this item is open. Public comments on this item is open. Mr. Clerk, do you have any written communication on this item?
No written communications, Mayor.
Showing none, show public comments closed. I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any concerns from the dais? Showing none, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're now on to resolutions of public hearing. Item 11.1. The resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizes the renaming of Northwest 19th Avenue from Northwest 183rd Street to Northwest 179th Street and Sigma Gamma Roadway. Authorizes the city manager to change the street signage, provided for adoption and representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman?
This is a part of a series that I've been doing, dedicating these streets to service organizations that we know that help build this country. First of all, to the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho, I want to congratulate you on your Founders Day of 102 years yesterday. And this is a symbol of the outstanding work that you provide to this community, and we do it as a whole. And that was my thought process in creating these items to, one, celebrate our history and create our own history within the city of Miami Gardens. You are almost, next meeting, we'll have the total Divine Nine complete, and we'll be the only city in the country that honored the Divine Nine in this way. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I move the item.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. There's open public comments on this item. I have Ms. Linda Stevens.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and the dais.
Mic not working? Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and the dais. Will the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho please stand and remain standing? We are honored that Councilmember Reggie Leon is honoring us with a street naming in the area of Northwest 19th Avenue, Northwest 179th Street, 183rd Street. And we just wanted to come to give you all a thank you, personal thank you. And as you said, on yesterday, we just celebrated 102 years of being in this community, doing the work of sisterhood, scholarship, and also we have another street naming which does not have anything to do with City of Miami Gardens, but one of our dear sorors, Dr. Enoch Curtis Pinckney, who was very instrumental in the Hampton House. There will be a street naming for her on November 22nd as well. So we personally thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Powell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilman Stevens,
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin,
Yes.
Councilman Leon, Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
All right, we're now on to the consent agenda.
Before we start the consent agenda, you kids got school tomorrow. You guys could go ahead and leave if you like. We're gonna allow you guys to leave if you wanted to.
And
You
to
can
the ladies
stay.
at Sigma Gamma, we'll take a picture in about 15 minutes once we wrap this up.
The councilwoman, do they lose points now?
No, they get A's.
No, they get A's.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Voted.
I got too much going on.
I'm not gonna say bye. All right, Mr. Clerk, we're on the consent agenda. We're taking it in its entirety.
Yes, so we'll need a motion to approve.
I need a motion to approve
Motion.
the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the consent agenda pass.
All right. We're now on to, item
13-1.
13.1. A resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, appointing council member Robert Stevens III to serve as vice mayor for a 2-year term, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris.
As you guys know, every 2 years we have to appoint a new vice mayor. I hate to see you go,
I ain't going nowhere.
but my recommendation this year to appoint the vice mayor or to the position of vice mayor is Councilman Robert Stevens III.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move the item.
May I have a point of discussion? May I?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much for your kind words and regarding, my term. And it truly was a wonderful opportunity for me. However, I would like to just make some stipulations at this juncture. And the stipulation that I would like to proffer is that going forward, that we have our protocol manual updated. And that protocol manual update should reflect how we move forward when our vice mayor changes. It should be reflected on our outlets. It should be reflected, the news media ought to be notified formally of the new positions that the council now has. And any formal programs, events that we are requested to attend, that the offices should be notified in advance of the titles and positions and names of all people that are representing this dais, so that in no way should Councilman Stevens show up and they call him Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson. Everyone should know the titles, and we ought to have that and I want it in writing, exactly how that's going to be done. Is that clear? That's fair?
Yep.
Is that fair, everybody? Okay, amen.
Who you directing that to?
Our protocol person, who is that? Tamara?
Mr. Clerk.
Huh?
Mr. Clerk, you addressing that to Mr. Clerk.
Whoever responsibility it is. Whose responsibility is
Well, I'll go ahead and prepare an agenda item for council consideration, sponsored by you, Vice Mayor, updating the protocol manual to indicate what you've just said.
it? And is that protocol manual going to be shared with who is responsible for the protocol implementation? An example, I know that Tamara deals with the media. And so who deals with the IT department so that it's reflected on our website?
So
letterhead and et cetera, et cetera. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
we'll get that covered for you, Vice Mayor.
Okay, can I get it in writing when it's done?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I appreciate that. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
I need a motion in a second.
We did.
Oh, we did it? Okay.
I
so-
made the motion
and Robert
seconded it.
Okay. Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Hell yes.
You want to repeat? No, sorry. Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Congratulations, sir.
One stipulation that his reports have to be
short.
All right, we're now on to item 13.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, urging the Florida House of Representatives and the Florida Senate to co-designate Northwest 47th Avenue from Northwest 199th Street to Northwest 207th Drive as Congresswoman Frederica S. Wilson Boulevard. Requested support from Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners through District 1 office for this purpose, providing for adoption representation, providing for instructions to the city clerk, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilman Reggie Leon.
Councilman Leon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Earlier today, Vice Mayor Robert Stevens came to me and he says there are going to be any more streets left, right? For me naming all the streets. But this is very important in building a legacy. When we ride around Miami-Dade County, you see streets named after people that some of you can't even pronounce the names, right? But these are individuals that are in our community that has put forth work to make sure our community is the way that it is right now. Without Congresswoman Frederica Wilson starting from as a principal all the way through the Florida legislative body, with the program that she committed her life to, 500 role models, which is now 5,000 role models, which saved so many African-American men, which created good husbands for women, which created good fathers in this community, and which is still the work is still being done now. So I feel that it is an honor that we name this street after her, and we send this to the state representatives, the Florida House, so that they can give her the due just of 47th Avenue, which her school sits on. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I move the item.
I second. Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the item pass.
All right.
13.
All right, we're now on to item 13.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the City Council to create a Poet Laureate program and appoint May Rain as the first Poet Laureate of the City of Miami Gardens, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and it's sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Councilwoman.
Yeah, that's okay. I know it take one meeting after that. You know, I'm honored to proffer this resolution for a Poet Laureate in the City of Miami Gardens. There are so many historical events that occur in this city that should be celebrated with a writing that in some way or another memorializes the event and memorializes what it actually has transpired, and it becomes a part of the official record. We have one in our country, and now we have one in our city. And I don't know one woman that is greater than the one that was going to occupy this position to be the first person. And so I would like to make a motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the item pass. Congratulations.
Where is
Mayor
she?
Rain.
Right here.
Oh, there you
She
go.
here?
There she is.
There you go.
Can she say?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Wow. Greetings, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and the entire City Council. My name is Marion Ritchie, affectionately known as May Rain, 3811 Northwest 174th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33055. Okay. The honor of Poet Laureate is bigger than me. It is to inspire the younger generations of poets who must understand the impact that they can potentially make in their community. Poetry has been my greatest tool of activism, empowerment, and inspiration. From Anguilla to New York, from Puerto Rico to Washington, D.C., poetry has been the vehicle that God has used for me to get in rooms that were not initially created for me. And in the great city of Miami Gardens, where poetry found me, at Carroll City Elementary, I would like this honor to serve as symbolism because I am still here in this city, thriving through the art of poetry. Under this administration, to serve as your Poet Laureate is the most heartfelt appointment of my poetry career. It is my honor to serve with workshops, programs, mentorship, and however I am needed. I am eager to show our youth what the power of spoken word can do. I have a theory that every pen replaces a gun and every poem replaces a suicide note. Thank you for this honor.
Now you can work on that poem for Miami Gardens.
All right, we're now on to item 13.4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating $20,000 from Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson's community benefit account to support annual athletic, community, and educational programs, i.e. in paren, residential property baskets, annual toy drive, women's exposition, Miami Carroll City alumni picture, community beautification projects, etc., close paren, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Katrina Wilson.
Councilwoman?
I'm continuing the good work.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
No.
Showing none, show the item pass. 13.5.
All right, we're on item 13.5, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending resolution number 2024-098-2172, decreasing the allocation of funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's community benefit account from $10,000 to an amount not to exceed $5,000 for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, NAREB, in paren, for National National Home Ownership Month, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Councilwoman Julian?
The item is as stated, and so we're just rescinding some of the funds because we had a deadline. NAREB had a deadline to use the funds. They used half of it tonight, as you saw, and so we're going to rescind the other half.
Okay. Need a motion on the item?
Motion.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition?
No.
Showing none, show the item pass. 13.6.
We're on item 13.6, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds from Councilwoman Linda Julian's community benefit account in an amount not to exceed $4,000 and public affairs special events account in an amount not to exceed $16,000 in support of Love of Urban Design Week, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Councilwoman?
The first week of December is Art Basel Week. As we know, Art Basel is trademarked for the city of Miami Gardens. And for us here, we're bringing Love of Urban Design, which is our own version of Art Week. And so that's what this item here signifies. So we'll have a whole week of art, fashion shows, and bringing people into our city to see what we have to showcase.
Need a motion on the item?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the item passes.
All right, we're now on to quasi-judicial zoning hearings and genuine disclosures.
Good evening and welcome to the quasi-judicial portion of the November 13, 2024 City Council meeting. For those persons that will or may be speaking on an item on the agenda or commenting on any item, please stand up and be sworn in by the city clerk. For applicants, your item will be called to order by agenda number and title of your request. When your item is called, please approach the microphone, and when addressed, please speak directly and clearly, stating your name and address for the record, and explain the reason for your request. Note that all exhibits presented to the mayor and the council will become part of the public record.
All right, all interested party for this evening quasi-judicial right hand.
Any applicant that has a rezoning item, you can remain at your seat. Just stand at this. Raise your right hand.
Right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is to the best of your knowledge? All right, you may be seated. Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Can I go ahead and poll the council collectively on quasi-judicial gender disclosures?
You sure can.
Collectively, and to our new members, at this portion, I'm going to ask you guys if you had any ex parte communications regarding these items. At this time, you can disclose if you had. So collectively as a council, has any council member had any ex parte communication regarding these two agenda items?
No.
No.
All right, and collectively as a body, do you affirm that the decision that you make tonight is solely based on evidence presented before you?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We're now on to item 14.1, ordinances on for first reading and public hearing. Item 14.1.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the rezoning of that certain property located at Railroad Drive and Northwest 151st Street in Miami Gardens, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached to from neighborhood commercial to single-family dwelling residential, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the city manager, and this is a public hearing.
Mr. Manager?
Okay, good evening, council. The first item before us today is a rezoning. This is actually a down zoning, which means that we're going to a lower zoning category. So the property right now is zoned neighborhood commercial, and the request is to downzone to R1, single family. The property is located at Railroad Drive in Northwest 151st Street. Even though it has a neighborhood commercial zoning, it's actually platted or subdivided as a single family lot. So it does already fit the dimensions of what we typically see as single family. The lot is currently vacant. This is an image of the subject site. It is within a residential area already, so the R1 single family zoning, staff considers that it would be appropriate to the area. These are some of the images of some of the adjacent properties, and as you can see, it's already single family homes within that area. Based on that, based on our review of the criteria, we are recommending that this rezoning from neighborhood commercial down to R1 single family be approved.
I need a motion on this item.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns from the dais?
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Is this property, is this a part of the infill program?
It is related to the county's affordable housing initiative. So that would be with county. We don't have our own infill program with the city, but I do know that it is through, I think it was formerly a county property, and it was one of their, extra properties that they had, and that they did, they are planning to use it to do a single family affordable housing there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Public comment on this item is open. Public comment on this item is open. Mr. Clerk, any written communication?
No written communication, Mr. Mayor.
Showing none. Public comments are now closed. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin?
Yes.
Councilman Leon? Councilwoman Powell?
Yes.
And Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to item 14.1.2. In order to the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the rezoning of that property located at 17320 Northwest 27th Avenue in Miami Gardens, Florida, more particularly described on Exhibit A attached here 2, from single-family dwelling residential to entertainment overlay, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Mr. Manager.
Good evening again, Council. This application is by JWG Holdings. This is a rezoning from R1 Single Family to EO Entertainment Overlay, so it's kind of the opposite of what we just did. It is actually an upzoning. The property is located at 17320 Northwest 27th Avenue. As many of you know, the 27th Avenue corridor is within our entertainment overlay, so this is one of the few properties along the entire 27th Avenue that is not already zoned for our EO entertainment overlay. So because of that location, staff does support the zoning to the entertainment overlay from the R1 single family. It is in compliance with the neighboring properties that are already in existence. This is a subject property. Again, most of the homes in this area, they are single family lots, but they do operate as commercial residences. As you can see in the slide of the neighborhood characteristics, the property next door, it's also a single family layout, but it is commercial, it's a daycare, and that's kind of the characteristics for those 2 or 3 blocks all along that area. Across the street, we do have a shopping center, and then the area behind is R1 single family. So due to its location along our major commercial corridor of Northwest 27th Avenue, and in reviewing the criteria, staff does recommend approval of granting the rezoning from R1 single family dwelling to EO entertainment overlay, which is in compliance with what we want to see happen along our 27th Avenue corridor.
Thank you. Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns from the dais? None. Public comments are open on this item. Public comments are now open on this item. Mr. Clerk, are there any written communications for this item?
No written communications, Mayor.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Julian. Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to ordinances for second reading of public hearing, item 14.2.1. An ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending the Code of Ordinances as outlined in Exhibit A attached here 2, amending the City of Miami Gardens Land Development Regulation, Article 1, General Provisions, Article 2, Administration, Article 5, Alcoholic Beverages, Article 6, Housing, Article 9, Generalized Schedule of Permitted Uses, Uses Permitted with Extra Requirements, Special Exemption Uses, and Prohibited Uses, Article 10, Accessory Uses and Structure, Article 11, Development Standards, Generalizing Table of Development Standards, Article 12, Off-Street Parking, Loaded, and Vehicular Circulation Requirements, Article 13, Design Standard, Article 14, Minimum Landscape and Buffering Requirements, Fences, Walls, Hedges, Tree Protections, Article 15, Plan Corridor, Development District, PCD, in paren, and Entertainment Overlay District, EO, in paren, Article 19, Definitions and Rules of Construction, amending the City of Zoning Map to create a location for the Innovation Overlay, IO, in paren, Zoning District as attached in Exhibit B, providing for adoption, representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. This is a public hearing.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, we don't have any changes on this ordinance. This is a thorough look over these properties within the City of Miami Gardens. And we look forward to this passage so that we can move forward with design options and other types of development within that area. Staff recommends approval.
I have some questions.
All right. I need a motion on this item first.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make known, and I want to be clear about this. In this area here is where the old police building resides, true? True. And this ordinance here does or does not affect the sale, lease, or anything of that building, correct?
No.
And should the sale, lease of that building and anything that happens with that building, it will need to come before this council
That's correct.
before anything happens.
That's correct.
Okay. I would like to go on the record to say that that building should not be sold. We need to maintain and hold on to as much of our property as we can. And I would like to see that building become a building that can house some of the businesses in this community that are not able to afford the rents and other types of things to be able to run their own businesses. And I would like to explore that idea and get some feedback in terms of how that can or cannot be done, and or other recommendations that would make it a feasible thing that the city can do for its own residents and business community. Because we are becoming more and more landlocked, and less the property values are just going through the roof. And I strongly urge us to do that. Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor, I think that's a conversation you need to have with your members on the dais. This ordinance that we have before you, I believe is really doing a very positive thing in the area where the request is coming from. Staff worked diligently on this to bring this forward. We are actually putting zoning and changes in place to get ahead of changes that will be happening in that area and throughout the city. Certainly, we want to stay on a positive note as to how we're moving forward with development and redevelopment. The property that you're talking of is in that area. If you want us to bring something forward to have a discussion regarding that piece of property, I have no problem with that. But I believe the changes that we are proposing here are very positive for that area. You will probably begin to see some of those businesses that are in that area starting to move into the newer construction areas throughout the city, which I think is a very good thing. This gives us an opportunity to get ahead of things in that area so that we'll make sure that we'll have a very positive growth and development opportunities in those areas. So I'm more than happy to bring something forward to the mayor and council for your discussion, and then you can provide us some direction from there regarding that piece of property.
I think that is going to be critical to me being assured that that area does in fact develop as you are proposing that it does, but also that it is inclusive of an area that is allowed for our residents to develop with it. And I am open to the creativity that can come along with that. I have no problems at all. But I want to ensure that the residents are a part of the development process and the use of the old police building that we own going forward, and how we can reconstruct and renovate it in a way that allows us to bring businesses and prosperity to our residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public comments are now open on this item.
But wait. So now, if I need to get information, do we vote on this? Or does this get pulled until you bring the information?
This item is not related to the building. This item is for that whole area. This is a zoning item.
Isn't the building in this area?
It is, but this item concerns all of the properties in that area, so it's a zoning item. So the proposal that you're making wouldn't be made a part of this anyway, because this is just a zoning item.
Okay. So if the zoning changes, right, then the use of that facility then is impacted.
No, we're not changing uses. What we're doing is making it broader, so we're allowing more uses. So for example, now you may have a restaurant in that area. We're allowing that. Right now you couldn't have a restaurant in that area. You couldn't have certain stores in that area. So what we're doing to make it innovative is to try to mesh industrial uses with retail commercial uses so that it's functional. So this just increases the opportunity for development in the area.
I'm not comfortable.
All right. Public comments on this item is open. Public comments are open. Public comments. Mr. Clerk, you have any written communication?
No written communication, Mayor.
None?
I'm really not comfortable. I really am not comfortable with this item passing, and I don't think that I've gotten clarity enough. I do recognize that I have the right to vote no. I also have the right to be able to say, do we have to vote on it tonight? And so that I can get clarity on what I want to see take place. And I'm sorry, but that's just what it is.
There's no applicant, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
We're the applicant, Vice Mayor. So, and just for the record, you are the Vice Mayor till December 9th.
Mhm.
So I'm not talking out of turn. But this is not an applicant, so it's the city. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it, when you want to do it, whether you want to do it. It's not like an app, a lot of times people come before you, they've applied. So it's up to the dais.
Does the passing of this tonight impact any timelines you have? Mr. Manager?
I think so.
I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, I didn't hear your question.
Does the passage or does this have any timelines attached to it? In other words, if this was tabled until next meeting, right? Are there any timelines that you have to meet?
No, we don't have any timelines.
So nothing was going to be hindered?
No.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we table it until the next meeting.
There's a motion on the table to table this item.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Did we get a second?
Yes, second. And Baskin second also.
So it's been moved and seconded to table this item.
To be specific, because this is a public hearing and this is a quasi-judicial, I'm just going to add that the second meeting will be, it'll be tabled to the December 11th City Council meeting.
Right.
All right, there's a motion and a second on the floor.
Been a motion and second. So let's call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin? On the motion to table.
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell?
Yes, table.
Vice Mayor Wilson?
Yes, table, please.
Councilwoman Julian? Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
All right, motion to table has been approved.
So it'll come back on the December 11th meeting?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Just for clarification, we're tabling this and
Just to address,
what are we doing? After we table this, are you going to come back with the information that she's requesting? Or what's the table?
I guess she's tabling it to address the issue with the police department building.
That is correct. And I think that I need to be able to have a clearer conversation with the city manager and the deputy manager and all the parties that I may have questions about so that I can feel a lot more comfortable with either voting for or not. But that's the issue for me.
And Mayor, if I may, if we can have a meeting for us to be present or to have the conversation, to be witness to the conversation, I think we have to create a meeting for that, a sunshine meeting for that.
So, City Attorney can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Mayor. If Councilwoman Powell is in fact asking to be part of this meeting with Vice Mayor, we would either, if collectively as the body, the council wanted to do a workshop, or if it's only something that Vice Mayor Wilson would like to have and you two, Councilwoman Powell, then we can do it as a sunshine meeting in the community room where it would just be a discussion.
I think that'll be good, to do it as a sunshine meeting.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If you don't mind, if we're going to do this, I would recommend that we do a workshop so that everybody gets the same information at the same time.
Okay.
And that way, a sunshine meeting, not everyone may not want to attend. at least with the workshop, they still may not want to attend, but at least everyone can have a conversation
That's fine.
and get the input that we need so that we can bring this back for approval to move forward.
Okay.
So are we gonna workshop it before the December 11th?
Mr.
Mr.
Mayor,
Clerk?
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind,
Yes.
I'm not actually sure exactly what the vice mayor is going to want us to do. So for the sake of not being prepared, because I like being prepared for meetings, I would recommend that we move this to a January meeting so that that gives me enough time to sit down with staff, to go through whatever questions she may have that we need to talk about, so we can be thoroughly prepared for that particular information, and then we can bring that forward, so we can bring that forward sometime in January for approval by the council.
I agree with that. You agree with that?
All right, so then I would, Mr. Mayor and Council, I'll need a motion to amend the table to move it to the January 22nd, 2025 City Council meeting.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to move it to that date. I think we all in favor of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show it move to that date.
Duly noted. All right. There are no resolutions of public hearing on the quasi judicial. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Councilwoman Julian on your victory. Congratulations, and look forward to working with you. I appreciate everything you had to go through, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to win and come on back on the day, so I look forward to working with you. And lastly, certainly to my friend and colleague regarding the death of your daddy. I'm sorry to hear the news, but I look forward to working with you, even though you're going through this right now, but also being there for you as a friend during the times that we all walk away from that day. Certainly losing a parent is tough. We've been in that situation together, along with the deputy city manager, but I wish nothing but the best for you and your family, and condolences and prayers to you. Thank you.
Madam Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Also, I would also like to congratulate you, Councilwoman Julian. You deserve it. You work hard, and the residents are better for it. Vice Mayor, you've been a joy as the Vice Mayor. You didn't always get your flowers as you should, and I'm sorry about that. But you know that's the kind of stuff that happens to women a lot. But you serve the city very well. And you are, like I said, still the Vice Mayor until December 9th, I believe it is, Mr. Clerk?
Yep, so December 9th.
And then I want to say thank you to everyone, staff included, mayor and council, my charter officers, everyone, really. The condolences are well received. My father was a great man. And yes, he was very proud of me. In fact, every job I went on, he had to come and inspect it. Because he's a retired sergeant first class in the United States military. And and they call me Little General. So a lot of my ways are of my daddy, the way I look and everything else. So I appreciate the sentiments. We're going to go and bury my father on Saturday. And I will be carrying you all in my hearts, and the words will go with me. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk?
Councilwoman Julian, congratulations. Speaking on the election, I know I've been getting a lot of calls from the council and also the residents. To the manager, I'd like to thank your code enforcement department and public works department for assisting with trying to keep Miami Gardens beautiful with the campaign signs that are out there. Like I said, if any council member or any residents continue to see campaign signs out there that needs to be removed, please be our eyes and ears out there. Feel free to call my office. We are working diligently to keep this city clean. To Vice Mayor Wilson, it's been a good 2 years. You're still going to be Vice Mayor. You're still going to be Vice Mayor. That's the title you're going to be able to hold. You hold it with grace. I'm going to miss the intermittent pausing between your speeches, but we know you're still going to be able to do it. So it's been a pleasure. To the city attorney, while the city manager says you've been a good friend and you know me and the manager's always competing, I say you've been a good big sister to me. And I know your dad raised you right. You are going to be the new foundation and the new pillar for your family. I wish you nothing but strength and encouragement during this time. Me, the city manager, the council, all staff, we're all going to be here for you. So if you need me to write a resolution, I'm going to write a resolution for you. All right? All right, and that's it for my reports. Oh, last thing, sorry. I know I don't usually have reports. The other thing, the Elderly Affairs finally provided me with their written report. I'll be forwarding the council via memo tomorrow. Within that report, the Elderly Affairs is asking for support for the council for their annual holiday dinner that they have, and also some another initiatives that they have in there. I'll be formalizing it to the council. You should receive that memo from me tomorrow.
Ethics training.
Oh yes, ethics training, very important. I know that the analyst has been getting with all the council members regarding their annual ethics training. There is an annual ethics training tomorrow for Mayor Harris, Councilwoman Baskin, Councilwoman Powell. Councilman Julian, you may have a little bit of time, but I would still highly suggest that you guys attend it because there's a portion of it that is mandatory at this time. Miami-Dade County Ethics hasn't given me any new dates for their portion of the training, so I definitely advise you guys to attend. Any other member, Councilman Leon, Vice Mayor Wilson, if you guys are not able to attend tomorrow, I do have an online option for you guys, as you guys are only required to do the state portion of the training. But Councilwoman Baskin, Councilwoman Powell, Mayor Harris, I'm reminding you guys again, for the record, as my bosses, you guys should be at the training tomorrow.
I can offer you, Mr. Mayor, I can offer you something though.
Yeah.
Because you've already had the in-person state training, you need to do that online. But you need to show up for the afternoon training tomorrow. Because you have to do the county's portion within 3 months of you being elected or re-elected.
I'm there, right, Alex? We there
And so
tomorrow.
Mario then can send you the link for the morning portion. The two newest council members, I suggest you go in person because it's live back and forth, so you're allowed to ask questions and it's more interactive, and because you've never done it live. So that's what I would suggest you do, is go live so you can, if you hear, you can ask. I won't be there tomorrow, but somebody else will be teaching.
So yeah, so just be there.
We there.
Mayor.
All right, I need a motion on that.
Wait,
Motion to
before we
adjourn.
make the motion, Mr. City Clerk, please let the record reflect that the Code of Ordinance states that campaign signs ought to be down 5 days after an election, and all my signs are down. Thank you very much. I follow the rules.
Yeah, you do follow the rules.
And happy Thanksgiving to everyone. This is our last meeting in November, so we won't have an opportunity again to be together, to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. And may God continue to bless our residents, and may God continue to bless Miami Gardens. God bless.
Can we get a picture with Poet Laureate? She'd love to take a photo
We
with
need
us.
to adjourn this meeting.
Okay, please go ahead and adjourn.
I
Sorry,
need a
sir.
motion to adjourn. Then moved and seconded, show this meeting adjourned.